Sure. My name's John Walsh. I'm the CEO of Bytemark Games. Bytemark is a mobile game publishing company. So we do a couple things. We commission our own games for development, and we partner with market-leading brands and put out branded content. We also commission the creation of original intellectual properties, and we partner with external developers who are looking to launch their games onto the iOS platform today. And we use our proprietary tools and technology, include them in the game, and our go-to-market experience to help make their games as successful as possible. So,
okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, we look at, I come from retail publishing, right, where I used to work at Activision, then I had my own retail publishing company where we released games into Walmart and Future Shop and all those types of stores. And, you know, in retail, you learn very quickly that if you don't have a great spot on the end cap in the store, then consumers won't see you, and if consumers won't see you and you haven't done a good job of driving them to you, you're not going to sell any games. So, and the digital market is no different fundamentally. If an audience doesn't know about your game or can't find it, they're not going to buy it, especially in the App Store, right, where there are literally hundreds of thousands of things to buy. So the good news is that the App Store in particular, Apple's App Store, has some very high-profile end caps in this virtual market, right, which are the Apple feature categories, which there's a number of, and some are higher profile than others. And there's the top seller list. And the top seller list is a mathematically derived equation that basically in real time every hour ranks every app in the App Store according to the number of downloads it's received over a specific period of time and puts them in the list. And most consumers, because of the way the device is built, open up the App Store, either go into what's new in the featured categories, or they go into what are the best sellers, right? No different than anything else. What do you do when you walk in a music store? Back when you used to walk into music stores, you know, you go to the top seller wall, right, and look at, oh, what's the popular stuff, right? It's human nature. People want to be told what to buy. I used to have a retail store, and we used to set things up on end caps specifically to, you know, drive attention and awareness and see what people's reaction were. And, you know, it's very effective. And so this market's no different conceptually. So in addition to, you know, creating a presence in those top seller lists or working with Apple to make sure that your product gets the light of day, which they're very good at doing. Apple supports great products, and they help companies who help themselves, which is a really nice thing, because if you can demonstrate a track record of high quality games that their audience is interested in, I think you have a very high probability of getting their support. But Apple will be the first company to tell you that that cannot be your strategy and that cannot be all you do. And we've learned that. We've been fortunate enough to be featured by Apple several times, and we've also spent a lot of time experimenting with various marketing techniques, understanding how that top ranking system works. And you know, you can build external marketing and demand for your game through ad networks and PR and all those kinds of things. The third thing you can do, so you can kind of rely on Apple in the feature categories, you can build awareness externally to mathematically push yourself up in that formula to a high level of visibility, which can take a lot of time and money depending on, you know, the quality of your app and all those things. And the third thing is you can have your own audience. And that's one thing we're very focused on creating at Bytemark is you know, an infrastructure that supports an active, thriving community, so that eventually, you know, we have hundreds of thousands or millions of active players in our community every day, so that when we launch a new game, we launch it not only in the App Store, of course, where you get it, but we effectively launch it within our own community as well. And we built a lot of tools into our game library that we include in every game that help us cross-promote other titles. So we have standard IAB banners in there, we have notifications, we have interstitial full-page blockers like banners, we have an incentive offer wall that incents people to go try our new games by being compensated in the current game, and we just have a more games feature, a community feature, and all those things all tie together to allow you in real time to really concentrate your audience. And that concentration really helps with the visibility in the store. And so that's sort of the whole ecosystem that we're creating. The short answer is that depending on what you're trying to achieve and what kind of game you have and how you monetize that game, different strategies work with varying degrees of effectiveness. So there are the partner promo companies like OpenFaint, right, which is a third-party social network, and they have a number of promotional activities that they can launch on your behalf to create greater awareness for your game, like the free game a day program. and the fire sale program, which they've just started, which we were a part of. We were the first game to use with JAWS. And there are other companies like Free App a Day and similar services now bubbling up. And they can be very effective depending on your model. They typically rely on taking a paid game, dropping it to free, and spreading the word very rapidly, building a lot of installs quickly, and putting you on the top free charts very quickly. The downside is, unless you're monetizing those free users, you got a lot of users, but you didn't make a lot of money. In our case, that's not so bad, because we need those users in our ecosystem, and as long as we're delivering them quality products and they keep coming back to play them, then we can engage with them right through the game experience. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg. It's hard, and it costs money, and it takes a lot of time, but really the short answer is you have to have a continuous pipeline of content coming in. And that's where I legitimately feel, you saw the panel today where a couple of successful indie publishers up there, indie developers I should say, who don't believe in publishers. And I think, Get Set's had a lot of success, but I would argue that they're the exception, not the rule. And believe me, there are thousands of developers who have not had that experience, despite many of them having good quality products. And it's just not a viable strategy going forward. It's great to have lightning in a bottle, and more power to them. They deserve all the success they get, but I would not build a business around trying to get lightning in a bottle. Yeah. Today, the App Store is actually, it's pretty cost effective. Even though it's inefficient, it is still cost effective to create a good amount of awareness for a paid game or even a free game today. So, if you're looking at a game with a production budget of between $50,000 and $100,000, I would say unless you have your own audience, your own network that you could leverage to create the math to give you awareness. If you're buying that audience, I think it's a $25,000 to $50,000 investment, roughly. If you do it right, it can cost you a lot more, and if you spend a little bit one day, a little bit the next, you basically have, washed it all away. It's useless.
Yeah.
You have to do it like, there has to be this crescendo, this mathematical crescendo of all these installs happening in a very short period of time to push you up to a higher position of awareness.
So thinking ahead is a good idea, right?
Yeah, and it's almost like you have to have a very coordinated effort, especially when you're using multiple external marketing partners. We've had a case where we launched a program, and one of the guys, one of the big marketing spends accidentally didn't kick in till the next day. One accidentally kicked in the day before, because they don't really care, right? An external ad network, oh, we started at 12 hours early, do you care? Yeah, I totally care, because if I don't concentrate all that, then the 200 installs I got from you the day before and the 200 I got from you the day after don't count in my 2,000 today I needed to push myself up. So it's very hard, and that's why the ultimate answer is you have to do it all yourself. And that's why we're building all those tools, because you need control, right? It's a very well-timed thing, and the ad networks just don't, are unreliable because they don't care, right? Well, they shouldn't. They sell ads. So we've got actually 8 projects in various stages of development. About half of them are our own projects that we've commissioned for development, and some with brand partners and some not. And then the other 4 are pickup games developers who have come to us to use our technology and our marketing tools to, on a partnership basis, to have us publish the games into the market. And we think that's going to be, we haven't really officially announced that's what we do yet, but when we do, I think that we'll have a good stable of high quality developers to partner with, So.